think I'm finally on. Okay. Hi there. Welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. I'm just going to get situated here and set up to take comments, and we'll get started. Not always the easiest thing to do. Let me see. There we go. Got it, I think. Maybe not, maybe. Okay. All right. I will start again. Hi there, and welcome to Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. This week's discussion topics, as usual, are including anything you feel is newsworthy about racism, bigotry, and inequality in America. And unfortunately, that pretty much covers everything. Yes, it does. So if you are watching, please say hello. I'm just kind of getting set up here. And if you're watching on Facebook and want to join in the conversation, please jump right over to my YouTube channel. It's called Angry Soccer Mom on YouTube, and join right in, because this is the show's meant to be an opportunity for viewers to speak their mind and have their voice heard. But it's also an opportunity to serve as an educational tool for white people who want to learn the truth about systemic racism. Oh, hello, Mind Gorilla. Thanks for being here. Ronald, yay, and Les, thank you so much for being here. You guys jump in any time to say what you want to say, because you know me, I will blab and blab and blab. So I will get started, and thank you so much for being here. If you are a Facebook watcher, just trying this as my second time live streaming from both. And if you want to make comments, you need to come over to Angry Soccer Mom on YouTube. Hate to say it, but so then you can jump in, because I want the people who are watching and my friends to talk to me. Because this is supposed to be a discussion, even though I kind of take over the discussion. Oh, no, I did not. Hi, okay, I didn't know. No, hi, Brett. The funniest thing is, when I'm here, I don't recognize who anybody else is, because they don't use their real name. So it's kind of crazy at first, but now I know. Thank you for being here. That's funny. If my best buddy in the world came on, I wouldn't even know. But anyway, so before we get started, I want to introduce myself to new viewers. I am Kim, Angry Soccer Mom. I host this live show every week, and I run a number of online communities, including the Angry Soccer Mom YouTube channel. And I want to start with a quick announcement, and we will get going. Nails and Glitter. Hello, thank you for being here. We have a lot to talk about tonight. I don't know about you guys, and I want to know what you think, but I'm kind of sensitive to it's getting worse and worse. It's getting worse. Things are getting way worse. And I know that's kind of like duh, but it seems like every day I can't keep up. What do you guys think? I mean, I can't keep up with the news. Moppy, hello. I literally cannot keep up with the racism, bigotry, and inequality in this country. It's coming at us too fast. So if you guys know things and I don't, jump right in, because it's hard. Yeah, Nails and Glitter, it's bad. It's really bad. That's an understatement, the understatement of the century. Anyway, tonight's topics, being that there are so many, I just prepared like maybe 6 things, and whatever you guys want to bring up, if I don't know about it, bring it up anyway. I will do my best. Stevie, thank you for being here. I will do my best to, read what you have, and we'll go from there. So I am, that's funny, Stevie. I am thrilled to have people. My first announcement, I do have an announcement, is that starting September 1st, I'm still going to be doing the Wednesday night Real Talk. Vernon, hello. Greetings. I'm still going to be doing the Real Talk, but I'm going to add a dimension to it, and that'd be on Sunday. I want to have panels of real live people where I just kind of help facilitate it, and I don't say I'm not involved, but I want real people who live this every day to be doing the talking and not me. I want to help just facilitate it, and we'll have a discussion topic brought up ahead of time. And let me see, my grill, they did something vicious with the profile, so I had to use my real name, but then, oh goodness, let me read what you have. I'm just going to read that really quickly, and then we'll get started, because I have so many topics to talk about. I can't even keep track. My girl, they did something vicious, a vicious thing with my profile, so I had to use my real name. But when I come up on YouTube, my original Facebook, the smoke screen. Did you know? Yeah, you ran out of room. You're telling me more about Mitch McConnell. I do not, but you can tell me. Oh, sorry that's happening to you. Mitch McConnell got paid millions from Russia, from a Russian steel company. Wow, tell us more. Just jump on in. I'll stick to that story, because I did not follow that one, but I have no doubt, sadly, there's too much going on. I can't keep up. I don't know how anyone is keeping up. But yeah, if you know stuff about it, jump right in. I'll read it. Have you heard about the book? Yes, Stevie, I have heard about it. In fact, interestingly, I was right there when there's a police shooting in North Philadelphia right now. And it's already injured 6, I'll just jump into it really fast. It's already injured 6 police. It's still ongoing as of like 10 minutes ago. And I think they thought it was a drug thing going on. I really don't know a lot of details, but the person fired hundreds supposedly of bullets, and it's pretty bad. 6 have been injured. No one has been killed. Apparently there were some women hostages, and police were in there, and now they're hostages, and oh, Moscow Mitch, tell me more. I want to know about that. I just couldn't keep up, but absolutely. So for the things I kind of prepared for tonight were random and all over the place. One of the things I wanted to discuss with everybody, hi Gradiate, Jean, hello, yay, I'm happy you're here. The ban on assault rifles, just a really quick discussion. I want to know what you think. Because a lot of us, if you're as old as me, were alive when there was a real ban on assault rifles. I prepared for the U.S. fencer at the Pan Am Games, who I personally was just brought to, like, humbled. He took a knee. I could go on and on. ICE arresting people at their workplace and abandoning kids all over the place. Epstein's death and Trump's connection and the FBI, and Congressman Steve King. So we have a lot. I mean, that's not even half of it. I mean, there's the little boy who got he's playing dodgeball, and somebody pressed charges on him, this child, for playing dodgeball while black, I guess. He's like a child. He's the same age as I used to teach. So it's like there's just too much going on. I just read about another thing that I can't really speak to too much because I haven't gotten the details, but some 4 teenagers were held at gunpoint, like captive, by a white woman. They were selling raffle tickets or something for a fundraiser. So, I mean, stuff is just out of control. I wanted just to make a quick announcement. Please stay safe. A friend of mine, a very good friend of mine who should be watching right now, or else, no, just kidding, had the police called on him for existing while black. And because we're friends, I put a video together, and yeah, Jim Crow 2.0, Stevie, yeah. This is really terrifying. Nails and Glitter. Oh, TYT did a story on Mitchell. Really? Oh, if you have any information, throw it in, because, yeah, in Arkansas, right, things are going pretty nuts. Assault rifles are not the main weapon used in mass shootings, Mind Gorilla. Yeah, I don't know a ton about mass shootings in general, but I do know a teeny bit about what's going on. So it's kind of a contradictory thing to say. So while you're thinking of topics you want to bring up, I will start on a rant. And my first rant tonight was going to be on, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with white people in America? And then I thought, that's kind of mean. It's kind of general. But it's from the heart. I don't understand it. I don't get how people can be humans and do this to their fellow humans. I don't get it. It's it's unbelievable. I don't understand. I don't expect answers. Oh, right, the Nails and Glitter, the little boy playing dodgeball. They charged him 4 months later and then dropped the charges. Yeah. That's a child. God, I mean, yeah, that's really, really bad. Nails and Glitter, I've been wondering that myself. Yeah, so you understand, I'm a white person, and this is getting out of control. Because part of the problem is, I know for me, there are things being done by Barr. There are things being done by the yes men surrounding Trump. There are things being done on so many levels. It's really, really tough to keep up. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, so I'm not going to do my rant on that, even though it's tempting. I don't want to say I'm angry. I'm frustrated and confused. Just like everyone else is probably, but so anyway. My rant this week is about the huge influence that Trump has on racial tension in America. And I want to kind of outline it because it's big. There's some people that are starting to speak out. Why they're speaking out now, I have no stinking clue. Why they didn't immediately, I don't understand. Because anyone who knows me knows I really do hold people up to a very, very high standard. We did this. Maybe we personally didn't do this, but white people did this. Just because you're born into it doesn't mean you just like, that's the way it is. When you see it, you do something. I mean, just do something. I mean, even educate, white folks need to educate themselves and then go out and educate other white folks. This is ridiculous. Life doesn't have to be this way. Trump has his finger, Trump has his finger on the pulse of America. He understands our love. He understands our love, our sick love affair with racism and white supremacy. He really, really does. And I could go into lots of reasons for that, but I won't. So last week, Beto O'Rourke, love him, hate him, in the middle, was questioned by reporters who were wondering if he thought there was anything Trump could do now to make anything better after the El Paso shootings. His very obviously frustrated, kind of irate, very candor answer caught my attention because it's about stinking time. Anybody with the audience does this. He replied, "What do you think?" And I'm going to quote what he said, so don't be offended. I'm going to say what he said. He said, what do you think? You know the shit he's been saying. He's been calling Mexican immigrants racists and criminals. I don't know, like members of the press. What the fuck? He actually said that. And you might think, oh, that's not presidential-like or politician-like, but you know what? Sometimes you just got to swear. That's all I can say. He went on to say, he's not tolerating racism. He's promoting racism. He's not tolerating violence. He's inciting racism and violence in this country. And I, for one, am thrilled that he's speaking out. Every person with any type of privilege or an audience should be doing this. You don't have to be good at it. Look at me. I'm just, old angry soccer mom. But I'm not going to sit and do nothing while my fellow humans are being abused. And part of it is, if you've studied history even remotely, who do we think is going to be next? I truly believe when one group of people, which in this case it's many groups, when one group of people are allowed to be abused, you're next. And every group in that you stand there, it's unconscionable. So let me just take a... Oh no! Okay. Nails and Glitter. White people are resistant to changing their own racism. And it's true. And part of it, now, yes, I am nervous. Thanks, Michael. Thanks a lot. Part of it is that as white folks, and this is just in general, obviously, there are some extremely educated people. In general, we don't know our own racial history. And so we think that what they taught us in school was right. And I'm sorry to say they left out a lot. I know what I was taught in school and what a few of my kids were taught in school was basically emancipation. Yay, we're all dancing in the streets. And now those black people they just are lazy. Well, you know what? It's the most ridiculous thing on the planet. We have done everything in our power and our white supremacy to make sure that, and this is in general, that black folks do not and are not allowed to accumulate wealth at the same rate as we are. We have not allowed them in our system of wealth. And yes, some people have made it, and it's a freaking miracle, because from redlining years and years and all this legal stuff, I won't get into it, but take some responsibility. I mean, it's like, I would say to anybody for anything, you don't walk by someone getting bullied. Do you teach your kids to walk by someone getting bullied and go, not my problem? Of course not. Then why would you be born into a society that has its roots and basis in systemic racism, as it boasts liberty and justice for all? Why? Because, like I said, if you see somebody drowning in a pool, do you think, well, I didn't shove him in, so what? Of course not. Do you say, I didn't build it, so who cares? No, it's just called being human. And I think that's a gift, that we can actually think, or at least try to think. And thinking does hurt. So anyway, I'll stop blabbing. Hey, Pat, thank you for being here. Great to have you. So a few years back, I did a video, and this was a while ago, that was talking exactly about what Beto was saying. And I got to say, the ongoing president, our current Trump president, has only added to this assertion on a weekly basis. Basically, he's not tolerating racism, he's promoting racism. He's not tolerating violence anymore, he's inciting it. And I have no doubt he absolutely knows that, and I think he loves it personally. That's just my opinion. It's not from any, official information, but he's just, I didn't think it could get much worse. Oh, you're in Mississippi at the moment, Pat, so you must be getting local news on what's going on. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about that as well. I don't know if you were here for the rundown on what I kind of planned for, but I mean, after his inauguration, white supremacists, white nationalists, and Tea Party people declared a victory for white nationalism. And, for me, white nationalism isn't white nationalism personally. It's just my opinion. It's white supremacy. And nationalism is basically saying we're white and we want to rule. It's ridiculous. So even former Klan leader David Duke, who we all probably know of, he said, after Trump won, he said, everything I've been talking about for decades is coming true, and the ideas I've fought for have won. Okay, that's just terrifying. Trump is, the truth is, Trump's kicked off his presidential campaign, we're all watching, with racially charged dialogue at the podium and in his tweets. That's been his thing. He promised and vowed to do horrible things to already oppressed people in America. Hey, Martin. And he's kept his promises. From his violations in the Fair Housing Act in the 70s, to the birther movement, to the deluge of comments and racist and bigoted policies that's continued to spew like shithole country remarks. Sorry, I swore again. He's calling Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas, the Muslim ban, not condemning white supremacists in Charlottesville. And his most recent tweet telling the 4 sitting congresswomen to go back to their own country. Then he had, days later, the audacity to tell Elijah Cummings, who's the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, that Cummings' district is a disgusting rat and rodent-infested mess, and that if he would spend more time in Baltimore, maybe that he could clean up this very dangerous and filthy place. Well, the list goes on and on and on. And I'm almost done with my rant, and I will take lots of questions and comments. Things are escalating rapidly, as Trump is not only acting as a de facto modern leader of the white supremacy in America, the world is watching. He's influencing the world. And this isn't really a surprise. Over 10 years ago, and I'm sure a lot of us already know this, the FBI found out that white supremacists had infiltrated law enforcement in America. And according to critics, not a ton's been done about that. Shocker. And in June this year, a watchdog group, if you watch my live show regularly, we talked about this, the Plainview Project. They compiled a database showing over 5,000 disturbing racist references and bigoted posts made by police across the nation. And we all know the origins of the police in America, and the rate of hate crimes has skyrocketed with Trump. But let's switch to present day. We all know the last 2 mass shootings in the U.S. were related to, I guess, white supremacy. And a lot of people have done write-ups saying that there's a direct link. I mean, I think if you're just on the planet, you can kind of see there's a direct link. But Trump blames the mainstream media and video games. This week, Trump's Justice Department suppressed a report that was basically saying that suspected white supremacists were responsible for all the race-based domestic terror incidences last year. Now, that had already come out, but I guess, it came out again, and they tried to suppress this, information, and that's kind of terrifying. Trump's tried to circumvent our Constitution in every way, shape, or form. Calling it executive overreach is really an understatement. He's destroying our democratic republic. It may be destroyed already, but I looked a little bit further into this, what he's doing, and as I said earlier, I can't keep up. But further research that I did very, briefly showed a concerted effort on Trump administration's part to actually redirect money that was aimed at stopping white terrorism to other places. Most recently, the Trump administration has, calling it irresponsible is, God, he could kill people. I think he has blood on his hands. He's made some decisions to stop tracking white supremacist incidents in their own category and put them all together so nobody really knows. The problem with not specifically tracking these white supremacy attacks is that we can't effectively combat it if we don't know what's going on. So it's going to make things worse. I think things are going to get worse even, and I can't imagine in ways. But anyway, almost done with my rant. I'm going to take people's comments. The Trump administration is purposely obfuscating the data. They're trying to make it like, Senator Dick Durbin, I got a quote from him, said that the DOJ and the FBI both told the panel they were unable or unwilling to provide precise data on white supremacist terrorism, and neither agency has responded to the repeated follow-up questions. They're holding out information. The request to the DOJ came after the Trump administration consolidated these 11 categories of domestic terrorism into 4, so that there's like a catch-all category, racially motivated extremism. He threatened to put Antifa as a terrorist group. There's already a really, really difficult time prosecuting and like white in-house terrorists. So he's just bringing us down and bringing us down. They're considered hate crimes, but they're terrorists. The DOJ report indicates that over the last 40 years of research, the pattern that they revealed was that when right-wing violence peaks during Democratic administrations, it sounds kind of obvious, but then this man's research showed that once Republicans get back in, it recedes and goes down significantly. But his point was, in this article I read, was the trend is not continuing with Trump's tenure. It's gotten much worse. And normally it waxes and wanes and it goes back like a pendulum, but not with Trump. And I mean, it's not exactly shocking. Donald Trump's kept the far right excited and agitated, and he's basically poured fuel on the fire. Many people believe that Beto O'Rourke, what he said, Trump's not simply tolerating racism anymore, but he's promoting and inciting, and I absolutely agree. Donald Trump has repeatedly refused to accept responsibility for inciting this stuff. He's really, to say he's out of control, it's like he dismisses critics and he surrounds himself with people who just say yes to him. He is the inspiration, and people are naming names. And personally, I think he loves it. The fact that 36 cases have been identified by ABC News is remarkable, that have been linked directly to Trump as president. And the ones they counted as links were done under penalty of perjury or contempt. They were court cases. So 36 identifiable violence cases have been directly connected where they mention his name, or and more people are believing now that Trump is a threat to our collective security. 10% of people in the United States, as we speak, according to the studies I've read, believe that the terrorism we should be afraid of is from Trump and white supremacists. 10% think he is more of a threat than basically anyone else. And I tend to agree. In fact, apparently there's a term now that people use for people who do mass communication, use it to incite violence. There's like an actual word for it. 2 days ago, according to Vice News, at least 6 men were arrested for making terrorist threats, stockpiling weapons, or plotting attacks since the last big shooting. According to CNN, 8 Walmart locations in total have received threats in the last week. I mean, this is out of control. At a recent hearing, FBI Director Chris Wray said that they've arrested 100 subjects of domestic terrorism in the United States and done investigations over the last 10 months, which is a significant number. And it kind of speaks to the white supremacy ideology. In summary, I told you I'd stop yapping and take questions. In summary, this is kind of sick. And I'm laughing because I feel like crying. Homegrown domestic terrorism is out of control in America. Trump's encouraging it and inciting it. His administration is not only doing nothing about it, but actually working against transparency, withholding important information, and making solutions difficult to find. He doesn't want us to have solutions. I wanted to tell a real personal story. This rant was inspired by my visit last night to Walmart. Last night I went to Walmart, and I thought, oh yeah, there's a gazillion Walmarts, right? Whatever. Well, I went there, and to make a long story short, I had a lot of stuff to buy, and it was late at night, and I was loading my purchases in my car, and the lot was kind of empty, and I know they have cameras everywhere or whatever, and I heard a man out of the silence shriek, "Fuck Walmart!" And it scared the shit out of me, and my heart started pounding. And normally I'd be like, ugh, whatever, but because of what's been going on, my heart started pounding, and I was like, safety mode right away. I mean, he screamed it really loud. It did startle me, but this is no way to live. I actually ended up talking to the guy in the gun section of Walmart. Of course, I had to and he seemed kind of freaked out. I was talking to him going, oh, wow, guns. I normally don't even pass by there, but he's like, yeah, you're telling me? And I was like, dang. I wanted to interview him, but I didn't want to get in trouble, so I didn't. But anyway, I'm going to take comments. That was my rant. And what a rant it was. Let me see. Mind Gorilla. A smoke screen. Tell me more. It's a smoke screen for what? Probably all the terrible things he's doing and keeping us confused. Just elaborate, because I want to know what you're saying. Pat, the chicken plants are now hiring. Yeah, very funny. And you know what? I actually, at the very end, I have something prepared on that, and I might as well just say it right now. The chicken plants. I saw fake posts about hundreds and hundreds of people in line to be a chicken worker, and I am so sorry. What a crock of shit that is. Okay? It seems to me that they had this, from what, I can't even tell what's fake and what's not anymore. I try to go to good sources and triple check it, and basically from 30 to 100 people wanted to take some of the jobs that the 700 people wouldn't be doing in that one, that one set of plants in Mississippi. However, I also read some things about the people who were hiring at the job fair, and they said, oh yeah, immigrants, people who are don't have papers often do this job because they're the only ones that'll do it. Because it is a dangerous, disgusting, really, really hardcore job. And he described it, and it sounds brutal. And so his thing that I read was basically, yeah, right. These people, these 30 people or 100 people to cover 700 jobs will be in, and they'll be out in a week. That was his take. Yes, I mean, and crops are destroyed in the fields. I don't even get this. Mine Girl. Trump's done sold America to the Russians a long time. Yeah. Pat, after the ICE raid hit. Yeah. Yeah. Really bad. Martin, Kim, and I'm sorry I'm so behind. Like this. More than 70,000 people have signed onto a petition that seeks to rename the portion of Fifth Avenue in front of Trump's tower in Manhattan after former... Oh, God. That's funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's like... And I'm not saying you are, but I'm not into the petty stuff because it's like, my God, he's killing people. He's just, I think our democratic republic is over later. I'm just not willing to like stop trying and just little me with, the people who care about their fellow humans. I'm still going to yap till the day I die because I just can't imagine giving up this nation to a regime. I don't know. It's very upsetting to me. But yeah, Martin, that's people are livid. They're going to do whatever they can do. Don, the comments started to get testy and snippy, so it was time to shut it down. I deleted it. Which comments are you referencing? Because I've talked about a bazillion things. I am so sorry. That must have been from the beginning. Get back to me. I apologize. I had to. My goal is to do my big rant and try to then just stop. So I apologize. I'm not sure what you're referencing, but maybe you will tell me. Let me see. I'm catching up slowly. Let me see. Okay. Sorry, it scrolled down. Don, it was troubling that the no's all strongly thought they were correct and that their position was obvious, despite the mountain of evidence to the contrary. So yeah, tell me what we're referencing right now, because my mind's like everywhere. I kind of got myself worked up over this Trump thing. Sorry. But, Anton, hello. Thank you for being here. And of course, Anton gives his, America, land of the thief, home of the slaves, fuck this demonic, fascist, murderous, vile, insidious, corrupt society and all its allies under Satan's authority. And Anton has been doing some really unique videos that I'm going to share on Facebook. If you are watching from Facebook right now, jump on over to Angry Soccer Mom on YouTube so you can comment and get involved. And I promise I will catch up with the comments and keep up with them. I just had to get that rant out of the way. You got to check out his videos. They're really snazzy, cool music, and they're emotional, really emotional. So, let me see. I'm just scrolling. I apologize. I'm scrolling back. Don, I seriously don't think they even know what the word means and clearly have no clue what it's like to be on the receiving end of racism and have zero empathy in that direction. Very troubling. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. It is unconscionable that one human can be that way and then another human can not. I don't understand. It's really upsetting. Part of the reason, like, that's really cool that we're humans is that we get to think. We don't have to be acting upon our instincts or our intense emotions. We can feel something and then not proceed with an action. We can stop and think. It's kind of a cool thing. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. That's like the gift of being human. And why people don't do that is really not good, because it puts us into this extreme way of thinking, which basically shuts us off. I know most people who are, in the Trump clan, I call it, are only watching Fox News because it complements their beliefs. My girl, the world is watching. The world is watching that. Well, DJT guts the economy. Yeah, it's on at every angle. I don't know where to. There's just so much news. Martin, Trump's won on racism. All someone needs to do is listen to his first speech at Trump Tower. Hang on one second. I'm getting cut off there. At Trump Tower. Did not listen to him ever after that one. I believe it. Yeah, well, when I heard him on that podium when he was running, and he disparaged my fellow humans and all the people who were running as Republican candidates sat there and did nothing. They sat there and listened. Not one of them did what I tell my own children to do, and I expect them to do. You do not stand there and do nothing while your fellow human is being abused and lied about and bullied, and every last one of them. And I get, it's politics, but maybe I'm in like a fantasy world, but I was appalled. I mean, talk about no backbone. God. And that was years ago. Pat, but why are black people... black people are high on the list of domestic terrorism other than... and not white supremacists. This is documented by the FBI. Yeah, they're trying to go after... it's all about... Right? I know. They're trying to threaten to go after... Black Lives Matter, and saying that black people are the biggest... I read all that stuff, and today I was reviewing again. It's a fantasy. It's sick. It's whoever controls the, has the power, rules the world. And right now, Trump and his followers have their own network. So it's pretty scary. Pat, I have no idea, but if you know, tell me. Mind Gorilla, he's played to the sensibilities of the ignorant so he could rape America. Yeah, I mean, this country has done a lot of things that are horrible, but we could start right now, this second, forward, and make our country amazing. It would take, instrumental. I mean, despite our founding fathers having trouble themselves actually adhering to what they believed in with regard to all people should be human, they did set up our Constitution to move and shift with the times. And we could be moving and shifting it with the times to bring us to a more perfect union. They made this genius document, despite being flawed themselves as maybe like humans. They made us a document that we could be using to do great things. But I guess Trump's circumventing it, and the Republican Party is backing him. They're allowing him to do horrible things to our fellow humans. Again, for me, it's never been about politics. I don't even like politics. It's about being human. You don't treat your fellow humans this way. You just don't. So, okay, I promise I'll shut up. Okay, I lied. Sorry. Grady 8, Pat W. COINTELPRO all over again. Martin, I think all of us that believe in democracy and the opportunity, we're all sick to our stomachs, after the Trump win, and we still are. I'm naive. I thought he'd be gone by now. Yeah, great point, Martin. Leslie, somebody please help us. 45 is bringing us down faster than, and you have like little angry. Absolutely. I don't know. I thought that people understood that freedom isn't free, and that everything the way it is, even though it is flawed now, we do not have real equality. At least we were slightly heading in that direction. Now it's backwards. Freedom isn't free. The people who fought and died for these kind of freedoms, we've taken it for granted. We've been lazy citizens. And I don't mean you all. You all are probably people who care the most and educate others. I'm talking about the people who do nothing. The white folks who, are in or I'll say the majority member numerical majority people who do nothing because they're just nice to everybody. It's not enough. It's not enough. The system needs to be dismantled and rebuilt. Our Constitution can take that. It's meant to change and grow with the times. We got to do it. And people are doing nothing. There's no neutral, and I think too many people think there's a neutral. If you're neutral, you are holding up the status quo. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, so let me see. Martin, Trump is the top hater in the country. He is a hate crime just opening his mouth. I mean, yeah. Vinomi, hello. They're too busy attacking, thank you for being here, too busy attacking black identity extremists, a dangerous game, making a generalized enemy, and then attacking all black people, much the same as the anonymous tips used to hyper-police blacks. Yeah, I mean, this is a game. This is a game to these people. I don't understand. And I do talk to some people who used to be close to me, and and who are Republicans, and I can't, they won't listen. They have told me that they can't stand listening to my stupid videos. And I don't know, I kind of feel, and you guys are going to kill me, I kind of feel like if you have something to say about history and being human to your fellow citizens and world, you need to go based on the facts, not like say you're stupid and ugly, and those aren't facts, those are just like put downs. So I have yet to have somebody come up with a real reason for any of this. They just, like I said in one of my videos, they call me stupid, they call me fat, they call me a lesbian. I'm like, oh, what if I was? I mean, it's like, not that there's anything wrong with it. These people are, I want to try to get to them. I know they have human inside of them, but so many of them will not listen. They don't want to hear it. So I'm just saying, I'm not sure what the answer is. Let me see here. Grady, do you mind if I post information on how to help political prisoner Chuck? No, absolutely, Grady, do it. Absolutely, that's anything that's pro-quality and pro helping anyone innocent, go for it. This nails and glitter. This attack on black identity will create extremism. I don't really understand the identity politics, calling black people the worst terrorists and having them be at the top of the list when every study, even our own department of, our own national government department found that homegrown white supremacists are doing the killing. So I'm confused and I don't understand. So maybe if somebody knows more about black identity, extremism, and all that, they could teach me, because I've read about it, but I don't understand why they're saying that when the statistics are showing very much it's something else. So I remain confused, and I will catch on eventually, I hope. Let me see, nails and glitter. Pat, it already has. Sorry, I'm so slow and just probably talking about something that getting scrolled up here. I'm catching up. Extremism and radicals, grade 8, are all code words. Yeah, I mean, there's dog whistling, there's gaslighting. This is like a psychologist's PhD thesis. This whole, like, maybe 20 of the smartest people in, could do a PhD thesis on all this that's going on, and it's just too much. Grade 8, or I should say racist dog whistles. Nails and glitter. But the white nationalism isn't extreme enough to be called what it is, terrorism. What do you mean by that, nails and glitter? Because personally, I think white nationalism is just another word for terrorism, because I looked up the definition of terrorism, and it doesn't even, white supremacists don't have to do that much to cause terror. They're causing terror. It's just over time, because you never know when they're going to do what they want to do and who they're going to do it to. Did anybody see Times Square? It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago? I'm not good with time. There were a car backfired, I guess, like twice. It sent Times Square with thousands of people into a panic. Like 24 people were injured. I mean, I'm talking like it was just a backfire. You think, oh, this isn't impacting me. Yeah, it is. Life doesn't have to be this way. We shouldn't be hating our fellow brothers and sisters. This is sick. Like, I need to tell you guys that. Okay. White nationalism. Yeah, so nails and glitter. Tell me more, because I just think it's a code word for being a racist piece of shit, basically. Sorry, I'm kind of blunt, but Pat, white supremacists need to be called out all the time, constantly. Gary says to nails and glitter, I call it terrorism. If it upsets fragile white jerks, oh well. Gary, you and I are as one with that. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be real. And a lot of people think it's mean of me. I get stuff from people, oh my God, on my YouTube. It's insane. I won't even get into it, but oh my God, if you knew. It's so crazy. Let me see here. Vinami. I hope I'm saying your name right. I think our difficulty to understand the white supremacist mindset is because we have a different modality at our center. Righteousness, love is supposed to be the center, not love of whiteness. Right. Well, yeah, totally. I mean, I don't get it. I want to get it. So, arrogant, white privileged me thinks, well, if I get it, I'm a social scientist. Maybe I can help somehow. And but I don't get it. I'm kind of old. I've been trying for a while here. So, but absolutely, I don't understand how somebody can see a child, and I don't understand how someone can be born white and that be the best thing they ever did in their life. I don't get it. We didn't even do it on purpose. It's chance. How can, if being born white is the best thing you ever freaking did, I don't even know what to say. Grade 8, nails and glitter. I was put in Facebook jail for saying that. Oh, you appealed and what? What? I have never talked to somebody who's appealed Facebook and won. They ignore me completely. They're like, you're out. I want to hear about that. Nails and glitter. I'm not on Facebook at all. Pat, Trump doesn't want to call them out, but he has been calling out black people for kneeling at the anthem. He's the biggest hypocrite. Absolutely. It's embarrassing. He doesn't even understand some of the most basic tenets of our Constitution, our rights, he's really kind of, it sounds really rude, he's kind of primitive in the way he truly doesn't seem to get it. Or he gets it and he's fooling us all. But either way, yeah, he kneeling, there is nothing more American than nonviolently protesting inequality and horrific treatment by our own government to our own people in a nation that boasts liberty and justice for all. Dang. Okay, sorry, I'm getting carried away here. Pat, 100%. People need to be called out. Don, Trump hijacked the message behind the meaning and corrupted it into something it had nothing to do with because he was too stupid to understand it. Don, I think you might be right. I mean, Kaepernick consulted military people on to learn the best way. This wasn't just a whim, has nothing to do with disrespecting the military. In fact, I did a video that I'm not in, and I think it's I love the video. I'm not in it. It has nothing to do. I put together 4 men who are white, who are a rarity because they're in powerful positions and they speak out vehemently about white supremacy and all that stuff, and it is amazing. And I wish everyone would just use them as role models instead of all the white people. Use them as role models instead of all the people who are hateful, because it doesn't have to be this way. Okay, Michael. Michael, you're not still here. No. Okay. Philly update. 2 officers were in the shooter's house and they got them out. 8 of SWAT just now. Oh, good, because I know. Thank you, Michael. I know that when I came on, women had escaped and the police officers had been protecting them, but police officers were still in there. I have no idea what's going on in Philly, but something's not going well in Philly. I'm sure we'll hear all about it. Vianney, thank you for the update. I appreciate it. Yeah, 6 officers were injured last time I saw, and people were sequestered in their homes, and they're very scary. Vianney, what I've learned is that most people, at the end of the day, put things other than their righteousness at their center due to fear. WS is no different. Fear of weakness, inadequacy, loss of power. Psychiatrists say that racism is just like bad self-esteem, like to the max kind of, and that it's, I've read a few articles, written up and screened by other professors, by their peers, and they basically, who knows what it is, but they believe that it is just basically having horrific self-esteem, and then, obviously being introduced and pushed into it. There's a lot of push when you are born white, boy, at every turn. But it's still not an excuse. Les, thank you so much for being here. Good night. I'm so happy that you're here. You're probably not here anymore because I'm kind of behind. Let me catch up. If you are watching right now from Facebook and you want to jump in and say something, I would love it, but you have to come to my YouTube channel, Angry Soccer Mom, because I don't know how to do both right now. So please come over. This forum is for me to actually be reading more things than talking, but of course I talk too much. Robert, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Al. Thank you so much for being here. If you're still here, I'm catching up. Yay, I'm so happy some people are coming over that I haven't seen in a while. This is a forum to say what you want to say, and I will keep reading. Hoping someday it will be Colin so that people can really say what they want to say. Yay, I'm so happy some people are coming that I haven't seen in a while. Yay, thank you. Moppy, someone told me to watch out for black supremacists. Shake my head. I've been looking for them so-called black supremacists forever, and I can't find them. Looks like another made-up word to me. I really, really looked into this. I even read over the document that the DOJ was trying to keep hidden. It's 2018. It was white supremacist, homegrown. No wall's going to stop that. No wall. That's not. We're fighting the wrong thing, and they're doing it on purpose. And I just don't get it. But if somebody gets it, jump on in. Jump on in and tell me, because I need to be told. Let me see. I scrolled up again. I'm so sorry. Nails and glitter. The white domestic terrorists are not being hassled by the government. They're protected by police at the rally. Yeah, it's absolutely different treatment. They get to go have, a Happy Meal before they're taken in. It's almost completely predictable. It's almost predictable. I think one thing Trump's done by being the de facto leader of the modern white supremacist movement, he's emboldened people, even people who aren't going to go shoot up things and do that. He's emboldened people to think they're pretty damn high on themselves, and they're doing things like running their mouth a lot more publicly and being really cruel. I know I mentioned earlier that these black teenagers are going around selling basically tickets to fundraisers, and a lady pulled a gun on them and made them go on the floor. She's actually getting in trouble. It sounds like she's being prosecuted, but My God, little boy with playing dodgeball that's being prosecuted because he bumped someone's head in dodgeball. It's dodgeball, the whole dodge concept. I don't know. I don't want to get into it. Anyway, I hope that some people watching right now will want to come onto the panel that I'm going to start on September 1st, and it's going to be you guys talking about a topic. We'll come up with a topic that everyone's into, and you'll have time to do research if you want to. I'll have people from PhDs to people who have no PhD, but a PhD in experience, because they're living this stuff. And I want to know what you think. I'll just kind of step aside and say, what do you think? Be the monitor person. I don't want to be involved in the conversation. I want your voice to be the one. Let me see here. Nails and glitter. Personally, I'm tired of white folks calling me racist for pointing out their racism. White people are terrible at identifying racist acts. Yeah, here's the thing. And as a white person, I don't teach people who aren't white. That's not my place. That's called going out of my lane. I don't tell people who live this. It is not my place to tell people how it is. Okay? I am here to educate white folks. How would I know? I will never be a person who is black, indigenous, brown, African American, mixed heritage, ever. I don't care how much I learn. I don't care how much I study, and it doesn't matter how many people I talk to. It doesn't matter who's in my family. What matters is I will continue my entire life towards that, but I'll never get there. The way it goes. But when people who are white think they know that they know more than the people living it themselves, that's embarrassing. That's just embarrassing. We don't, as white people, know more than the people who are living it. We don't know more about racism. We just don't. So, yeah, I can't imagine dealing with that baloney. And calling somebody racist for pointing out racism, let's turn the tables. Do you call out a convicted rapist and, call them out like, okay, you've raped somebody, you've physically attacked somebody sexually without permission, violently? Does that make you a rapist? What the fuck? I'm sorry. It's not even logical. It's ridiculous. But people, I hear you. Let me see. I've scrolled. Nails and glitter. Not all white people, but just most. And again, I want to clarify. When I talk, I'm talking in generalizations that have happened for years and years and years and centuries. I'm not talking about you personally. If you're white and you don't do these things, good. I mean, that's great. But if you're white and you don't do these things, you won't be offended either. Because you'll know I'm not talking about you, and you'll say, yeah, our society does do that, don't they? I'm talking about a group. It's a system. I'm not talking about personal, individual racism. That happens too, but what I'm talking about is a systemic racism. It's an institutionalized thing. Okay, I'm going to blab, but I'm going to stop. Let me see. Right, Pat, most white people hate the truth because it goes against it's like an ego thing. I don't know. Robin, hello. Pediatricians label racism as a socially transmitted disease that can cause black children harm before they're even born. Right, okay. Thank you, Robin, and thanks for being here. Are you talking about the genetic markers? There are genetic markers that are being, actually, it's been a couple of years, that are being determined, and more research is going into that. Childhood trauma. When you look at the cases that stop separate but equal, you won't even believe the studies of the white doll, black doll experiments. They call them experiments, basically social experiments, on little children. I have a couple of videos on them. It's been reproduced over and over and over. It's a very famous study. Brown versus the Board of Education of Topeka, Kansas, in their Supreme Court ruling that stopped separate but equal, they used that study. And it's very compelling, and it's extremely hard to watch. Little children showing you it. Nobody's taught them this. That their color is the bad color. It's unbelievable. It's very heartbreaking to watch. But I think every white person should see it. Also, Jane Elliott's Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes experiment. Fascinating. I learned about that when I was 18, and it had a huge impact. Racism's taught. These attitudes are taught. And society helps, bring them, hone them in. If your parents don't teach you, society's going to give you a kick in the butt and try to push you. So that's why it's not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. You have to fight and actively do something every single day. Make it a lifestyle, not a hobby. How's that sound? Make it a lifestyle, because it's not enough to be nice to everybody. The system needs to be dismantled. And white folks need to step up to the plate. Not to be heroes, not to be saviors, not to get credit and be on Facebook and say, oh, I'm so great, I did something. But because it's the right freaking thing to do. Because you do not sit there and watch horrible things happening to your fellow humans and go, yeah, it's just the way it is. It's just not right. But anyway, listen to me blabbing on. Is that what, Robin, is that what you're talking about? I posted the link on your Facebook page. Thank you. Thomas, hello. If you're still here, I'm so behind. Hello, thank you for being here. Oh, the Happy Meal. Yeah, ugh, okay. I am really behind, aren't I? Anastasia, yay. Vianney, like the hippie movement, but with a pragmatic foundation. And I'm so sorry I'm so behind. I can't even tell what things are. I just left listening to your show on Facebook. Glad to be here to support you. Thomas, you are wonderful. Thank you so much. And if you are watching on Facebook right now, I can't really do both the streaming comments, so come over to YouTube and jump in and say what you want. And I promise to catch up, but I'm not catching up. Thank you, Thomas, so much. You are such a sweetheart. Thomas once, I have to say, Thomas once saved me on a very, very long drive home when I was kind of lost, and he kept me company when I was really tired, and he is such a sweetheart. I just wanted to kind of jump in and say that. I will forever be thankful. Anastasia. Moppy, because it doesn't exist. Gradiate. Write Chuck a letter, make it uplifting, and hope inspired to this address. Okay, thank you. And I will definitely look into that situation. I don't know anything about it. If you want to say more about it, go for it. Because it's not just me trying to tell people what's happening and how it is. I want people who are viewers are more knowledgeable than me. So bring it on. Tell us what you know. And some people might jump out and say that's not true or whatever, or confront you on it, but bring it out. Most people are pretty darn great. Okay, Michael, you are not supposed to be watching still. Let me see. I just scrolled up and I missed a few things. I apologize. Let me scroll back. Oh, goodness, I am behind. Okay, thanks for that information, Grady 8. I appreciate it. And I want to look into that case you were talking about. Nails and glitter. For your information, the boy who was hit with the ball in his head was a white child with an IEP who should not have been playing. Also, his mom was a teacher in the district. Yeah, if you have an IEP and should not be playing because your IEP indicates that maybe head trauma wouldn't be a good thing in dodgeball, hence the dodging part, that's really, really negligent of the school to put him in that position. But I'm not saying that the parent's reaction, making it like a racist thing, that was a horrible, horrible thing to do to that child. Just horrible. But I mean, the whole thing, it sounds like there were some problems on a lot of levels. But thank you for that information. Thanks. Dang. Yeah, that got ugly. Vianney, I think the proper solution to WS and these other ills is for those of us who believe in righteousness to do the right thing. Build businesses and movements and empower ourselves, thus creating peaceful movements like the hippie movement, but with a pragmatic and solution-oriented foundation. Absolutely. Because right now, the one thing, I totally agree, it's not going to come from the top down. It's just not. It's the only thing coming from the top down right now is a lot of hate and inhumanity and a lot of other things too, but it's going to have to be grassroots and up. And I will just tell you guys something, and I know a lot of people will probably not agree with me, but I don't care if somebody is a criminal. I don't care if they're a child molester. I do not care if they are the worst scum of the earth. In a rational society that thinks we protect our most vulnerable people, vulnerable meaning not just people who are being abused and have done nothing wrong, but vulnerable people who have mental illness, who, have had problems. I'm not saying let everyone loose. No, we don't treat them inhumanely. Treating someone inhumanely is sick as fuck. I don't care if they did horrible, horrible things. Yes, they shouldn't be with people and they should be kept somewhere, but we don't do cruel, rotten things to them. That's not thinking. That's not using the beautiful gift that we've been given as humans. We can think, we can be angry, and we can want to hurt them, and we can say we are mad, but we don't have to act on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm in a dream world, but it's just not. When we do rotten things to, they're a criminal. Give me a break. That speaks to our character. That's all I had to say. Sorry, but no, that's not all. But I will keep reading. That's, I think, yes, I love your ideas, Vietnamese. That's awesome. Moppy, there's no such thing as a black supremacist. Why did they use these words when the Panthers? Why didn't they use these words when the Panthers were around, even though they weren't supremacists? Well, words change, and I'm not sure. Maybe somebody knows. It's a good question. Grade 8, letters to the parole board for Chuck Sims, Africa, the Sea. Okay, thank you. More information. Thank you so much. Michael, Harry says to say hola. He was watching but couldn't comment. I wonder why. Is he on? It's funny. Is he on YouTube? Because in Facebook he can't comment. But thank you. Nails of Glitter. Jane Elliott. Love her. She's scary. She's scary good. She's scary good. She makes people think. Pat. White supremacists always try to shift the blame elsewhere instead of owning on their messed up crap. Yeah. I don't, for some reason, personally, when I talk about like our past history of white people, I don't really have any guilt. Maybe I should, but I don't have guilt. I'm mad. Like that this isn't taught, that everybody doesn't know. And I'm mad because I can't say, oh, that's what they did then. I'm sorry. No. There were abolitionists back then too. I can't go there and go, well, I get that, but I can't make it an excuse. That's just my personal take. But yeah, white folks need to just deal with our real history. It doesn't mean you did something. It just means that you are in an empowered place to try to make things right, to work towards what our founding fathers wanted is a better, a better union, a more perfect union. And that is being American. So when people come up to me and say, oh, you just hate America, it's kind of laughable. It's the opposite. I love America. And I know this cannot be the best we can do. We're humans. We've been given the gift of humanity. We don't have to act like animals and be barbaric. That's just, okay, I never shut up. My God. Okay. Anastasia. Moppy. They did call the Black Panthers terrorists. Yeah, that's right. And that's where we got the Mulford Act from. Understand the Klan is still around, but where are the Panthers? Dead, exiled, or jailed for life? Yep. It's, he went to, Michael, he went to bed in South Carolina. I'm going to bed in Philly. We have a big week coming up. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Grade 8. Thanks. Good night. I'm excited. Grade, oh, I lost my place. Wham. I'll find it back. Grade 8, a lifestyle, not a hobby. Buenas noches. Thank you. I'm not reading that. Oh my God. Anastasia. J. Edgar Hoover said it. The biggest threat was a black messiah and black unity. Yep. Absolutely. Grady 8. Chuck Africa was part of the movement in Philadelphia. Okay. Thank you. I'm definitely going to look into that. Thank you, Grady 8, for doing that. Pat. And that's why he tried so hard to destroy any black person who went against the norm. Yeah. We've got a very, very long history of this. And it's something to feel guilty about. It's just, it is what it is. But don't just do nothing. It's like, so if you're watching on Facebook right now and going, I want to say something, you got to come over to YouTube. And I do these shows once a week. I'm not really supposed to be talking this much, but I'm kind of worked up tonight. And I am also starting in September a panel where I will be kind of like the person who helps organize it, and the people will be talking. And there'll be anyone from brilliant PhDs to people who are brilliant in life because they live it and they have a PhD in experience. And I want the real people talking about it. Okay? And we'll pick a topic that everyone agrees on, and you'll have time to, research it if you need to or be prepped. But it's going to be really casual. And I have different people every week, and I want white folks to see real people talking about real issues, and I want them to see that white folks somehow live through it. And I don't mean to be condescending, but it's like sometimes I think white folks think they're going to die if they talk about racism. At least the people I've talked to. It's like torturous. I talk about it all the time, and I'm alive still. And it hasn't killed me. It's not going to kill us. It's going to make us better people, to be more honest. So, okay. Let me see. Oh, Thomas, I will never forget that. Thank you so much. Kitchen Politics. Hey. Hi, Kitchen Politics. How are you? Okay. We need to, okay. Let me see. Moppy, they killed Fred Hampton. Okay, I'm catching up. Kitchen Politics. For some reason, I'm not getting the live feed, and it keeps booting me out. You're on YouTube. I don't know. I'm the disabled of technology, as you all might kind of know. Anastasia. Unless you contribute, we don't want guilt. We want accomplices, accountability, and changed behavior and reparations. Right. I think, and I'm not going to speak for you, obviously, but I think what you're saying is guilt does nothing. Guilt is just like another way to funnel it back to being about us. Like, oh, I just feel so guilty. Feel guilty? Do something. That's my thing. Do something. Educate one person. I'm not trying to speak for you, Anastasia, but I mean, guilt does nothing. It's counterproductive. Grade 8, Moppy, right. I have met Fred Hampton Jr. He still fights for his father's legacy. Cool. Anastasia. But what does patriotism have to do with accountability? It doesn't. It's an oxymoron. Just because you are against the genocide in Israel, against the Palestinians, you're anti-Semitic. Yeah, I mean, people honestly are being illogical. It's like very, very few people. We're in such extremes. There's no middle ground. And honestly, I'm guilty of it too. I don't think it's about politics. Oftentimes, I feel really, really different than some of the white folks who are adamantly, just not getting this. Because it's not about politics. It's about being human. I have an order of operations of how I work. Human here, politics is way down here. If it's inhumane, I don't care what your politics are. I don't. Like, for example, when I realized what Trump did to the Central Park 5, I was like, I don't give a shit what he thinks about anything else. And that's kind of the first thing I learned about him. He's a sicko. I don't care what he thinks about anything else. Because, you see, here's the problem. Not to be like a teaching, but kind of am a teacher. Here's the thing, and I know people watching know this. When you're president, the public's not privy to every decision you make. We're privy to, like, okay, so we know some of the big issues, whatever, and they don't even have to follow them if they don't want to. When a president takes office and is in charge of our entire nation, there's going to be thousands and thousands of decisions that he or she make that we never hear of. If you put someone in office who's immoral, for the love of God, what do you think all of the tenets of all their decisions are going to be based on being immoral? It's not, this isn't like a tough thing. So to me, that's just how I run. If you're an immoral person, I don't care about your great ideas. I will not vote for you because I don't know about all your other evil ideas because there's, that's just, anyway, I'm blabbing. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what patriotism has to do with it. It's just another way to divert the attention away from the issues. I know for me, I did this video a long time ago, a couple of years ago, explaining why people were so bent out of shape with Kaepernick. Oh, were they bent out of shape? Because, see, they love watching black people on the field perform and all this, but they do not love the black people. They love watching and being entertained. But if they loved the black people, they would actually give a shit about their human rights and their civil rights. And what Kaepernick did was he made them face reality. And that pissed white people off. That's just my take. Just my take. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Let me see here. Thomas, it will make us better people. Thank you. Yeah, I think it will. It's just, we got to be in this kind of mode of thinking that we're always going to grow and learn, like lifetime learning. And no matter how smart you are or how not smart you are, you can still do better. And that's what this is about. It's not about saying white people are bad or anything like that. It's just learning more. The more we learn, the better we can do for everybody and for our kids. This is not the society I wanted to leave my kids with. No way. And I know it's not for a lot of people. So, okay. Anastasia. It's funny, they want us to forget, but why do they continue their same behavior? But it's they still have the Confederate flag and the monuments up. Didn't they lose? Never forget 9/11, but forget we lied. And absolutely. And Anastasia, the whole thing is, it's the most hypocritical thing on the planet. And my take on that is simply this. And I'm sure you probably heard me say this before, like, slap me here, but it's like a spouse smacking their wife or their husband, a spouse smacking their partner in the face and saying, why can't you forgive me for beating you? Let's move on. We're still doing it. We're still doing it. It's psychologically like a mind, it screws with your mind. Mapi, I'm sorry, Ingrid Mom, but America started off on bloodshed and it will end on bloodshed. America, you reap what you sow. This is just, no, a lot of people say that. Don't be sorry. It's how you feel. I know one thing for sure. The wealthiest elite who have fooled all the white folks who support them by being racist, they are in for some surprise because they are working for the wealthiest elites for free, doing their dirty work by focusing everything on racism when it should be focused on the economics, the absolute imbalance. I went over something today that I was reading. I want to ask you a question right now. This is ad-libbing here. Think in your mind, if the world was just broken down to ratios of 100 people lived in the world, okay? And that would represent all the places. How many people do you think would have computers? If 100 people represented, like what percent? Think about that and I'll get back to you on it. How many people do you think would have clean water? How many people do you think would have sanitation? The inequality, well, I can't say it. It's mind-blowing. I don't want to give it away, but just give me, write out a guess or think of one. Well, I keep reading. Don't be sorry, Moppy. That's how you feel. You're absolutely entitled to however. Anastasia. About the weapons of mass destruction, to get Saddam, elect Biden or Harris, but forget all the people they put in jail and on and on and on. Yeah, we have. That's all coming out. It's all going to be coming out. I don't know if you were watching last time, but I was doing a kind of an overview of everybody, and definitely with Biden and Harris, a lot came out. They have some pasts that they need to be confronted on, and Biden is kind of interesting. And some things he absolutely acquiesces to, it was a mistake, but on other things, he is not. He is stubborn, so I don't really get it. And definitely Harris has a record that some people are very unhappy with. It's confusing. When it narrows down, I think it'll be easier for everybody, but message held. Okay. Anastasia. Colin Kaepernick was an uppity Negro. Remember, he should be glad they let him play. Right. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. He is a person who he's a modern day hero in my mind. And this is just me. No one has to agree with me. He's a modern day hero. He chose to do something great instead of do something selfish for himself, which, I mean, I'm not against going for your dreams, but he sacrificed. I have nothing but absolutely amazing things to say. I mean, he's like this kid. He's not even like, but he has the wisdom of, the day I found out about him, I didn't know who he was because I don't follow football or anything like that. It was 2 a.m. and I had had too much caffeine, and because I can't have caffeine at night, and so I actually went in the closet and I did this crazy rant. Like, I look like a crazy person, but I was like, I'm in love with him. Who is this guy? I was so excited. So if you want to watch a video and you'll laugh your ass off. I am like a crazy fool because it was 2 a.m. I was hyper on caffeine and I didn't know who he was. And I was so freaking happy that he was doing what he was doing. And then all the other stuff, fell on him. It was the very beginning. I didn't know he would get all this. Silly, naive me. Let me see. Great point, Anastasia. Absolutely. Grady, who do you think can win the Democratic nomination? Me personally, or anyone can answer that. And I don't. I want to say. Okay, I'll just say it. Right now, anybody but Trump. Like 100%, anybody but Trump. I think it might be too late for our democratic republic. I think we're an oligarchy that's going to turn regime. That's just my kind of, not to be the soothsayer of doom, but I would love to see a Bernie Warren ticket, a Sanders Warren ticket. I don't feel like being moderate is what we need. We're at the bottom right now of a lot of the Western nations in healthcare, maternal, birth rate, everything. We aren't winning, okay? When we compare ourselves to our same peers or whatever, Western peers, we're not winning. We're not doing well. We don't even have healthcare, and the healthcare we do have when you have insurance sucks. I've had like 7 different health plans. I've sampled 7 or maybe even 8, even the best ones. You can get bankrupt. I mean, nowadays, 50% of the people who go bankrupt because of medical bills. And a lot of them have insurance. And, you think, oh, they made poor choices. They bought a yacht. They spent too much on clothes. No. Somebody got sick in their family. The wealthiest elite are loving it. And the middle class is disappearing. Like, I need to tell you. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know, Grady. Tell me what you guys think. Moppy, these people have no clue what's coming to America. Trump's wall will not save white America. Well, of course not, because people flying in, it won't even say it. So, right, absolutely. because people fly in. Most people who stay fly in and overstay their welcome. So has nothing to do with the wall. And oh my gosh, I'll get on a tangent. The cruelties that we've done to our fellow humans. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let me just back it up. Back it up. Okay, Moppy. Okay, got it. Mr. F.S. Black. Hey, Kim. Hello. Thanks for being here. If you're still here, I'm so behind. Hi, Kim. Not sure if you've heard of the foster couple in Iowa who starved their blood. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. I did not realize they didn't receive any jail time. That is kind of close to my heart. We can talk later. Yeah. No, yeah. That's just it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Our foster care system in America is just fucked up. I'm sorry. I mean, 70% of trafficked children in America have ties to our foster care system. We have chosen capitalism as a lifestyle, not an economic, a thing for our, no, it's been a lifestyle, and it's a sick lifestyle. It wasn't meant to be a lifestyle. It's meant to be kept in check and possibly for economics in our country, but not as a lifestyle. Companies aren't supposed to be humans. With Citizens United, they don't have hearts. They don't have feelings. They don't care. So anyway, I get on a rampage here. Okay, yes, I have. Ooh, that is bad. Anastasia, facts. They don't change the tactics. They did it for Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement, voting rights, and the economic equity. They always vote against their own interests. White women did it too. Yeah, I mean, white women, I hate to say it, but we have either supported silently or not so silently our men who have chosen to do horrifically racist things, or we ourselves have had our cute, tender white tears and done horrible things historically. Lied and done really, really horrible things. It's time for white folks to step up to the plate. Not everybody, of course not. But if you're not in this, then of course not. It's a system. And the system is strong. It's stronger than any one of us. So we all have to work on dismantling it. And that starts by white folks educating ourselves and then teaching other white folks. They are teachable. I know a lot of people think, they're not teachable, there's no way, but I swear I've seen miracles. It's a long road, but people can learn. It's learned. Little kids don't act racist to each other. They're taught. So anyway, the elites have been using racism and caste systems to divide the poor based on races since before the foundation of America. See the wiki entry on the Bacon's Rebellion. Absolutely. This isn't anything new. And some people say there'll always be racism. And you know what? That's just a fucking cop-out. Sorry. That's just my opinion. You can hate on me if you want. That is ridiculous. There'll always be crime. There'll always be murder. There'll always be everything. Why make any laws? Why care then at all? I mean, that is a ridiculous cop-out. Sure, there'll always be a lot of things. But there'll also, hopefully, always be people who give a shit and say, you know what? We can do better than this. And saying that, racism, and I know this is not what you're saying, but racism didn't start in America. There's, and all that stuff. It's like, give me a break. I'm not going to buy into acquiescing to, that's just the way life is. No, it doesn't have to be. Life doesn't have to be barbaric. It's just, anyway. Oh, I am on a roll tonight. I just appreciate so many people being here. You have no idea what this means to me. The alliance between European indentured servants and Africans, many enslaved until death or freed, united by their bond servitude, disturbed the ruling class. Thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. I can't believe you're still here. I hope you're sleeping, or yeah. Okay, you're embarrassing me. Pat, Well, you have to understand that the white supremacists went to great lengths to keep the wealth out of the hands of the blacks. Absolutely. And to this day, they still don't want blacks to gain any wealth. That, and I think you were going to continue maybe, that's why the I hate that they cut you off. Let me get to it. Oh, where are you? I'm so sorry, Pat. Oh, that's why the document called the Doctrine of Seclusion was created. Okay, I think that's the continuation of your... thank you, Pat. You are a wealth of knowledge. That's why I'm thrilled that you're here. The ruling class responded by hardening the racial caste of slavery in an attempt to divide the two races from subsequently united in uprisings with the passage of the Virginia Slave Code. Right, I mean, the worst thing in the world, thank you so much for adding all this, it just really adds to it, is that, why do you think the people who were forced into enslaved status, the humans that were forced into enslaved status, why do you think the people who were doing it didn't want them to read? Because they know knowledge is power. They didn't want to read, they wanted to learn. Because they knew that that is how they would unite. And when people say that slaves didn't rebel, ho, 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 that just says it all. It says that they never opened a book in their life, first of all. But yeah. People rebelled in ways that are unimaginable. Every day I learn new things. It's unbelievable how strong the people were. I've read so many of the, and listened to some of the productions of the people who are actually talking. You can hear real slaves talk. And I have it, well, I can post it again. It's in my archives, but you just won't even believe it. It hasn't been that long. Thank you for your education, Vietnamese nails and glitters. Trump is bringing racism out from behind the curtain. It's an accurate representation of our history. But current, let me go back to, okay. Sorry, that kind of cut you off there. Yeah, what is happening, just to make it clear to any white folks who are kind of new to this subject matter, this has been happening since the beginning of our nation. It's just like a lot of white folks go to me like, oh, this is not who we are. And it's like, oh, I just can't believe this. It's like, yeah, it is. Sorry. It actually is exactly who we are. It's who we've been. It doesn't have to be who, we've also been really, really good in a lot of ways. We've also done a lot of amazing things, but this is pretty basic to humanity. We haven't been overly nice to people. We've been really cruel, and so it is kind of who we've always been. Trump's just making white folks see it. Like how did it get this bad, they say. It didn't. As a white person, you're just noticing. A lot of people say, how did it get this bad? You're just noticing. It's not that it got this bad, it's that you opened your eyes. And I don't mean that meanly, but it's true. And once a white person has opened their eyes, then they'll never go back. They'll never. It's like riding first class. You're opened up to this whole new world of, my God, this is the real world I've been living in. And you can't go back if you have a heart. You can't. You can't unsee it. You can't unlearn the truth. When you hear about redlining and sundown towns and the Devil's Punch Bowl and black codes and de facto segregation and lynchings and the origins of our police and, oh my God, you can't go back. So that's just my take. And I am blabbing, and I got to keep reading. Also, W.E.B. Du Bois also talked, this is Vietnamese, talked about this in, I think, the 1850s. Right, this is not new stuff. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up. A lot of people watch this after, they'll watch it after the fact. A lot of folks who don't want to be involved, maybe they're shy or just maybe learning. And so any information you can bring up that would help people learn is fantastic. And also teach me. I'm here to learn. Pat, why the document called... Oh, okay, I got that. I already said that. Anastasia. Bernie and Warren would win the presidency, but they want to corporate Democrat to keep the people quiet, stupid, and in the same position. Yeah, that's the thing. They kept talking about, we don't want too much of a progressive. And I'm like, I want that. We're way behind. I mean, racism aside even, we're way behind other nations. We are not the greatest nation. No. We can't keep saying we're great and kind of live on our past laurels, because it's like being a wannabe person who was really great like 100 years ago. Maybe we had these amazing, but we got to keep going. We can't just allow all this we have to keep progressing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's like, what have you done for me lately is kind of my thing with America. And I love our country. It has the potential to be incredible, despite all the things. Our Constitution, if we could use it for what it was meant for and stick to it, I think it could truly, bring us to a point where we really are a better nation, but not like this. It might be too late, like I said. Yeah, definitely true, Anastasia. I know what you mean. It's funny, we do pay for them. We pay for all them to have fabulous health care, but they don't want us to have it. Right, it's a let them eat cake governance. Absolutely. Yeah. I think they don't even have the same health care we have. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, nails and glitter. If Dems put Kamala or Biden in, it'll be Trump again. And Queen Kata, thank you for being here. I don't think I've seen you before. Thank you for, oh God, it is my honor. You don't need to thank me. I'm selfish. I do this for me. I mean, this is going to sound really weird, and I hope people understand it, but thank you for your kindness. But I can't stand living in a world that I see sick shit happening. I can't stand it. It makes me enraged. So I do this for me, because this is like, I am not going to sit here and just watch this happen. Sure, I might get to one person in my life or two, but I'm selfish. I can't stand injustice. It kind of makes me crazy. You did not hear that, but thank you so much for being so sweet. But there's nothing else I'd rather do. I just wish I could have more impact. I mean, my white privilege only goes so far. You have to have so much power. I mean, look at Trump. He's wealthy. It's all about wealth. But thank you. Grady. Oh, good night. Grady, I hope I didn't miss you saying good night. Thank you so much for being here and all the wonderful information I love it. I love it. I love it. And Queen Kata. Today it was on a popular website, and a group of white supremacists were talking about killing LGBTQ. Oh my God. That's awful. And no one cared. You know what? I'm so sorry you had to endure it. That's terrifying. I have to be honest, when I do go off of my little bubble of people who really care and I read real stuff, it's appalling. It's like that. It's like I'll see strings and strings of people just going, yeah, screw those people, fuck those people. It's just like, oh my God, is this for real? And I guess it's easy to be really like bold when it's anonymous and bold while you're online, but I'm not seeing, the divide is so much now. I'm not seeing reasonable. It's bad. Like the young man who was fencing in the Pan Am Games, he did fencing, and he was trying to follow Kaepernick's example and doing the right thing and using his privilege to point out stuff. And I saw the bottom of an article. Oh my God, people were brutal. Kick him out of the Olympics. It's like, so I kind of can relate a little bit to what you're saying. It's really bad. And then like there was nobody in all of the thread that cared. And so I kind of know, I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but yeah, it's getting worse. I think just the feel of it, but it's really scary. Anastasia, nails and glitter. They will, and that's because I believe they want 45 to continue to do their dirty work. Dems are, but yeah, the Dems, absolutely. And I'm not going to say all Dems, because I get the feeling that some of the ones that really, really speak out truly do care. I mean, but not all of them. A lot of the Democrats are kind of party line. They follow the party line. They're in it for, they think they're the kinder, more gentle side, but they're in with the money too. Best thing that could have ever happened to this election, I think, was one of the best is Elizabeth Warren challenging every single Democratic candidate. Don't you dare take PAC money. Don't you dare take checks from corporations. Don't you dare. And that's asking a lot, but a lot of people have done that. And until we get corruption out, it'll always just be kind of the same old thing, but a different face, maybe. That's just my opinion, I guess. Let me see. My problem is every time I scroll, it moves everybody. Okay, I'm getting there. Queen Kala. It's deeper than racism. It's lack of empathy and compassion. Yeah, I'm sure you're right. I can't figure it out. I can't step on an ant, okay? Let's take the ant to his colony outside. I just, it's not out of guilt. It's like, I don't consider myself so perfect and special that I can crush things and destroy other ants' lives. I mean, I'm talking about an ant. I don't kill things unless it's like trying to kill me, I guess you could say. But I don't get, if I feel like that about an ant, there's people who seeing children and our fellow humans being hurt. I don't get it. So try to teach me, because I just don't get it. Pat, Kim's, thank you, I appreciate it. Pat, Kim, some whites are, but most don't want to hear it. Yeah, I know. Nails and glitters, yeah. Dems are on the other side of the same, right, they're on the other side of the same coin. I know, a lot of them are. Queen Kata. White people have been conditioned to believe that they are superior race, and whenever you present them with the truths of history, they don't want to hear it. And, it's kind of interesting, even if your parents didn't say that to you, society says it to you. It's very subliminal, but oh my God. You go in the store, Band-Aids are always peach. It's just, you don't even question it. Nobody tells us when we're little. If you haven't seen the video I did on why I believe, don't freak, all whites are racist, and I don't use that as a derogatory thing. It's just a fact of being born into a society based on white supremacy. Now, there's a huge continuum of racism. I mean, I'm talking like implicit bias that you can't help because you're a human, all the way up to like, you're a murderous Nazi. There's a huge continuum. But if you watch that video, you will hear me trying to explain how and why people get implicit bias. And even if your parents were like Mother Teresa and were absolutely loving, a lot of people who grew up in kind of the I don't see color type household have a lot of issues because they don't get it. Like, what? I don't see color. Well, that's not really what they're trying to say. They're trying to say is, of course I see color. I'm not blind. Unless you're blind, of course, then you don't, but that's a whole other story. They're saying, I see color, but I check myself. And I say, you know what? I'm going to make a concerted effort because I know about implicit bias and I know about systemic racism and personal racism and many other forms. And I'm going to I'm going to push against it. People think that if you're white, to be not racist, you have to never have a thought in your life, never have anything that's bigoted or even remotely. No, it just means you're aware and you care and you're going to purposely work against it. We live in a society, it's in the air. Like Obama said, it's in the air. So I hope that kind of is speaking to what you're talking about. I appreciate your input. It's really good, actually. Let me see. I got to be spiritual tonight. Moppy, go for it. I love your take. It's awesome. Kim, have you heard of medical apartheid? Not that term, but are you talking about, I could be completely wrong, are you talking about the huge differential between physical mental health care for people who are non-white? Maybe tell me more. I haven't heard of that term, but teach me. Oh, Nails and Glitter, I have. Okay. I read the book. Let me see. It's terrible. It's worse than what you think of. Okay. Pat, it's, I scrolled again. It's always been here. Trump just magnified it. Mr. F.S. Black, want to see just how far white supremacists are willing to go to ostracize and subjugate black citizens? Just look up the story of Harlem Hellfighters, an all-black military platoon. Yeah, I've heard of that, but I don't know about it. But I've heard that. I will. I don't want to, but I will. One of the hardest things as a white person for me to do, not because of guilt, but because I'm a freaking human being, was to do a video on Emmett Till. I waited like 2 years. I couldn't take it because he was a little boy. I have a little boy at the time that was his age, and he was a little boy. And so that was really, really hard. So yes, I want to read about it, but I'll find the right time to do so, because it's kind of emotional for me. I mean, not trying to like, oh, I'm privileged, and that's the privilege of white privilege. I don't have to, and that says it all. I will, but I don't have to, and that's not fair. Nobody should have to. So okay, I will, absolutely. I will research that. Moppy, if World War III starts, America will lose. Well, not exactly well liked at this point, but let me see. Okay, Queen Kata. Yeah, but there has been so much damage that has been done. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but it's true. I'm not sure specifically what you're referring to. Pat, Kim, the Constitution was never for all the people. So when it says we the people, you have to ask yourself, what people? Because it sure wasn't black. It was not blacks included. Right. And you know what? Absolutely. And I completely respect that you're saying that and everything, and I understand it. I've been reading, this is going to sound really crazy, I've been listening to and reading to the Cornerstone speech, and it's a speech that the vice president of the Confederacy spoke. It's one of the most vile speeches, vile, I can't think of another word, I've ever heard in my life, but it is very telling, because they were like 100 years out from the Constitution, and they talk about the Founding Fathers in a very interesting way. They were actually not happy with them at all, because the Founding Fathers admitted that it's probably a really bad thing to have slaves. Their moral character themselves, they were not able to overcome this. And I was watching these videos with my very, very smart friend of mine, and he was trying to teach me about not going all the way to one side. Easy for me to say, I'm a white person with privilege, but no, it wasn't made for, but they knew, according to the documents that, and they're like primary documents from actual words that these guys are saying, they knew that that's the direction it was headed, and they couldn't bring themselves to be morally, good humans. But they knew, and so they left it open so that it would shift with the times. And this is what I'm learning. This isn't my opinion. This is what I'm learning. So I'm slowly learning that for some reason they tried to create this document that could be shifted with the times. And whether they really did or not, it doesn't matter. It's the only thing we have now. But I understand absolutely. We had to have amendments to make sure everyone was allowed to be human. And even then, you can't change a person's heart. this nation is so, oh God, we haven't healed. We haven't even admitted all the atrocities. We won't even teach it in school. We're not even close. We're not even close to getting this. The white folks here are not close to getting it. Not even close. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, no, I know, Pat, I know. Don, we can't give up or the Fuhrer wins. Absolutely. Thanks, Don. Don is so positive, and I hope Don's going to come back on here sometime very soon. Pat, unity is very important. Yep. Don says, there's no such thing as a perfect candidate, so stop quibbling over whoever your emotional favorite is. Vote blue no matter who. Or yes, Trump will win. That is absolutely fantastic advice. I completely, Don, absolutely. I'm not anyone but Trump. I honestly, once the person's chosen, I will throw everything I got at them. I think this is our last chance. Even maybe it's too late, but great advice, Don. Thanks. The third party candidate must be ignored this time around. We can't. We gotta learn from our past. No protest, right? No protester votes. No. It's a luxury to have a protest vote. We don't have that luxury anymore. We never did. Most people didn't know it, maybe. We got to stick together. Totally done. Absolutely. I'm so backed up. Let me see here. Moppy. August 20th will be the 400 years of us blacks have been here in America. If you came into the truth, you'll know. If you came into the truth, you'll know what I'm talking about. Yes. In fact, I was just reading an article on that today. Don. They are united behind their hate and racism. We must be united behind love, compassionate, humanity, fairness, core principle values. Absolutely fantastic advice. It's not complicated. We got to stick together. The details don't matter. We're all human. We're on this earth for such a short period of time. We're barely a grain of sand in a billion, trillion, gazillion. Why not be good to each other while we're here? Why not? We're all going to go out the same way. You know, we're not going to take it all with us. Why not make your stay here something that makes life better for people who come after us? I don't get it. Great advice, Don. Thanks, Moppy, for that. I think August 20th. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was the exact date, but we'll all be definitely looking into it. Thank you for that, of course. Nails and glitters. Nails and glitters. I will not vote for candidates they have put or advocate putting innocent people in jail. Tell the Dems don't force my protest vote. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to ask. It's a lot to ask. As an anyone but Trumper, I don't know who the best person is, but for the love of God, Trump's the opposite of the best. So, you know what? There are going to be people who just do what they do. I don't think our nation can handle. I don't know if it's too late even for now, because people have forgotten that freedom isn't free. People who came ahead of us, this is not how it's always been. It was worse. And people forget that, and too many people in majority group, numerical majority groups, who are just living their life, ignoring what's going on. They are condoning the horrible things by doing nothing. So, but I understand. I mean, who am I to tell people what to do? Mr. F.S. Black, the nails and glitter, I understand. I mean, you got to go with your heart. But in the end, Mr. F.S. Black, the story of the Harlem Hellfighters is a bittersweet one. It's inspiring from a black standpoint, but sad in how they fought so hard for a country that would always treat them lesser than. Mr. F.S. Black, I have friends who came back from Vietnam who are black, who got completely shit on. And it's like, the sickest thing. The sickest thing. They, fought this insane war for all these, oh God, came back and couldn't buy a freaking house, couldn't get a loan, couldn't move into it. I mean, I have friends that have told stories. It's awful. Thomas Jefferson was definitely like this. Again, fear is a hell of a drug. Fear of division, fear of weak, fear of outsiders and invaders, fear of losing power. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we like to think that everyone's either perfectly great or perfectly horrible, and it's an easy way to put it in our mind, kind of like easy way to think about it. But the truth is, there's very rare people who are extremely all evil, although I kind of think of one I know, or extremely all perfect and good. We're all somewhere in the middle, hopefully on the good side, but we gotta not think in extremes because it's not gonna help anybody. Mr. Festack, I personally don't vote because I consider it pointless. Anyone who truly wants to do anything to help Black America wouldn't be allowed in office by the upper 1% anyway. Interesting take. Yeah, the upper 1% who run our nation thank the racists for their service, for making all the focus be on these terrible, terrible non-white people who ruin it. No, what's ruining our lives is that our economy is not in check. We're capitalism gone crazy. Machiavellian inhumanity. It's crazy. And the richest elite love it. They love the racism. They love it. You should read Michelle Alexander's The New Jim Crow. It's kind of spells it all out. But I'm sorry you feel that way. It makes me sad, but I don't blame you. I don't blame you. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, you feel like you're defeated, right? It's like, Moppy, America, you still haven't repented for what you did to his, right? Children, 400 years is almost up, and you're still in denial. Us blacks felt America's wrath now, and America will feel his wrath. Yeah, we haven't, like my friend Dixon White says, we really haven't done any racial healing. We haven't even kind of admitted that we got issues. 50% of all the white people in America, when polled, and it's been over time, think we're in a post-racial era, and that all these, radical, crazy, progressive people just want to open our borders. They're full of shit. I don't get why, but they're not thinking right. They have lost their humanity, and we got to help them get it back. Because, see, it's ultimately for their own good. They're working against their own best interest. If you'll notice, some of the people who are hit the very hardest by some of the cruelest Trump policies were some of his supporters. I mean, they're voting. We have a sick love affair with racism in America, and we'll vote against our own best interest to do so. And I just think they're misguided, and we got to help them because they got to help us, because I don't think we can handle him again. I don't even think we might not make it through this, but yes, so yes, absolutely, we haven't repented at all. We won't even admit it. Nails and glitter. I'm okay with the country falling apart. It already is, and it isn't working for most citizens, regardless of color anyway. Yeah, economically it's not. Yeah. Vietnamese. Yeah. Family who fought in World War II, came back, saw the racism in this country, and went to France. Principles of love, truth, freedom, and justice are by their nature unifying. You know what? I have a black friend who moved to France long ago because of the racism here. I have a black friend who moved to, stayed in England and didn't stay. He was doing school here and got screwed over. And love Dixon, yes, he's a wonderful friend. He's a great guy. He's really wonderful. And I have another friend who moved out of the country. I don't blame anybody for doing that. It's kind of like too powerful. It's too much. The 1%'s not going to, they're not going to stop. without a fight. They're not going to give up this whole white supremacy thing. So it's a really tough thing. So yeah, I understand. Next, Love Dixon moved to France. Nails and Glitter. Josephine Baker moved to France. And no way. I think I got to the caught up finally to all my questions. It's kind of interesting because I haven't gone over one topic that I had, and I don't know if everyone else has topics that they want to talk about. I have a couple things on the table, and we can wrap it up. I have the, you're going to laugh, the assault, we can talk about, or maybe we can talk about this next week, the assault weapons ban that we used to have and its impact. I'm getting there, I'm scrolling. I have the U.S. fencer at the Pan American Games and all the crap he's getting for using his privilege and using his audience to try to help others have a better, more equal, more equitable life. The guy's awesome. I actually wrote to him. I went on to his Facebook page and wrote him, like, I don't know if they'll read it, whatever. But it was really cool. I went on there and I just said, you are amazing. And I have stuff on the ICE. Okay, excuse me. ICE going place to place, arresting people at their work all over the place. There's a little confusion there because I thought all these horrible brown people and black people didn't work. So why are they going to their work? Because they work really freaking hard and that's where they can find them. And that's the truth. And so, I mean, the hypocrisy is disgusting. ICE is the Gestapo. It's disgusting. I'm like, ugh. The abandoned children in the ICE raids. My God. Epstein's death. The Trump connection in the FBI. And then there's Steve King. My God. Did you guys hear what he said today? He's not a well man. Let me just take a couple more and then we'll wrap it up. I have all those topics, but maybe for next time, I guess. Okay, let me just... Mr. FS Black, I can't help but roll my eyes whenever I hear someone prematurely label our society as post-racial. When I hear somebody label our society as post-racial, my laugh alone does not suffice. I need like one of those buttons to push. It speaks volumes about their ignorance. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, totally. I just think I'm out. Like somebody like that, normally I would work with some of the folks in my groups, but somebody like that's too far gone. I can't. That's too far gone. There's nothing, I mean, not like, oh, I'm the savior, but I think I can try to educate other white folks, but not that far off. No. Yeah. Moppy. During World War II, American white soldiers ate lunch with German soldiers, the so-called enemy, instead of with the black soldiers because he didn't want to eat with a black man in the same room. Yeah. I don't know about that history, but I do know interesting. Hey, anything that's racist, I believe, because the thing is, what we know as white people about racism, when I first meet a white person who doesn't know much, I just say to them, the first thing I say is, take whatever you think about racism in America, multiply it by a gazillion, bazillion, and you might be getting close. It's so much more in depth and cruel and evil than most white folks. Our parents don't teach us. Our schools don't teach us. We have to figure it out ourselves and catch on, or we just stay ignorant. So it's just really bad. Oh, Nails and Glitter. Yeah, the kids were left in daycare. Kids were left at school. One kid's sleeping in a church. Kids are like, where's my mommy? I mean, it's just the sickest thing ever. It's just sick. Can't save them all, right? No, I know. You got to work on the people who, like, there's a chance. Kind of, at least. There's a chance, maybe. Anton, saying goodnight. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much for being here. You are wonderful. And I am going to wrap up tonight and thank everybody so much for being here. I regularly do this every Wednesday, and I can't thank you enough for being here. I want to make it more and more and more about your voice and less me yapping. I'd like to make it a phone thing, or that we can actually talk. And I am going to be setting up the Sunday panel, and this coming week I am going to be away, and so I won't be doing Real Talk with Ingrid Zuckerman, but the next week and the next week and the next week I will be. So please join me a week after next, and September 1st, Sunday. The first panel, I haven't come up with the topic yet because it's going to have to be kind of nearer to the time. But write to me, get a hold of me, PM me. I promise I'll get back to you eventually. And if you are on Facebook and you want to be involved in actually talking and adding to the conversation, come on to my Angry Soccer Mom YouTube channel and jump right in. This is an open conversation, and it's just getting better and better because of the viewers, because of you. So I will ask a couple, let me see, blah, 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 a couple more. Anton says, have a good weekend. You too, Mr. F. Black. One of racist go-to criticism is calling black or brown people lazy, which is ridiculous. Yeah, hello. But in the same breath will accuse us of taking jobs away. It's all just such crap. It's like, blah. It's saying, when people say lazy, I don't condone it, but I understand what changes little mishanded, a little misthrottle. It's like, who do you think you're fooling? You really think, they don't even believe it themselves. Anyway, don't get me started. But yeah, no. Good night, Moppy. Thank you for being here. I love when you're here. Viennese, I found that those who accept the truth in any matter are not lost causes. Acceptance of the truth, or at least true effort to consider the truth, seems to be a bare minimum. Absolutely. Like, I'm just like that too. I will work with anyone who's trying. Anyone, even if I think, oh my God, but I'll work with anyone. And just one quick story before I go. I'm so bad. When I would have the beginners coming into the learning group, a group that I run for numerical majority group people to learn from people in historically marginalized groups and in numerical minority groups. And it's not just for black folks or white folks, it's for LGBTQ people who are in that community. It's for Muslims, it's for Quakers, it's anything that is not what you are. We all teach each other. I used to get, this is a really quick story, I would get people coming in, I don't see color. And that's pretty far actually up on the anti-racism continuum. I mean, it's not like, it's not there, but it's, and so we would teach them and work with them and try to explain why that's, in general, an extremely rude thing. And that's, try to kind of work with them over time. It's very, very lengthy amount of time. And then about a year later, I get this PM message from the person, and this has happened so many times, it's crazy. I love your group, but I have to leave. I cannot stand these newbies. I cannot stand it. They all come in saying, I don't see color, da da da. It's so annoying. And I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like, that's for you, dude. It's totally cool. So yes, I see progress. It's slow, but I see it. And it's like, I'm not giving up. I'm not ready to give up hope. Maybe that's my white privilege talking. I don't know. I'm not doing it. But anyway, that is like the best, coolest thing is when they're like, I just can't take these people. And it's like, you used to be one of them. But anyway, people grow and learn. Jose Paradise. Hello, hello, hello. Nails and glitter. Thank you, English Talk, for admitting you have privilege. It's more than some people. Oh my God. Absolutely. Absolutely. You should watch my videos. I'm like, it's the least I can do is be honest. And here's the thing. Why wouldn't I be honest? I try to be honest in all things. But what am I going to do? Go like, oh, I'm honest in everything but this. It's like, no, I can be honest in this too. I absolutely have privilege. Abso-freaking-lutely. And then some. And that's why every single person who has privilege or has an audience or is knowledgeable or is just smart or use your privilege. Use your privilege to help our society become what it could be. Absolutely, Mr. F.S. Black, admitting is the first. And it's a toughie. I'll tell you, I make mistakes. I cringe. Oh my God, I can't believe I learn something every day, and I'll never get there. I make mistakes. I fuck up. I do. Okay? Hopefully it's not as often, it gets better, but I will never know what it's like to live as a person who's brown, black, indigenous, of mixed heritage, of, a non-Caucasian or whatever. I will never know. No matter who I'm friends with, no matter who I love, who I'm with, who my children are. I will never know. I will never be there. And it is a humbling thing. Okay? It's a humbling thing for white folks. We have to drop our freaking egos. And then it's not hard at all. It's not about us. And white folks, no offense to everybody, but in general, we love making it about us because that's what we're conditioned for. So anyway, don't be colorblind. It creates problems, not solves them. Thank you. And Vianney, thank you so much for being here. I hope you come back again. And Hosea Paradise, watched your channel off and on for a while. Thank you so much for being here. That makes me so happy. Definitely. And again, I'm starting Sundays. We're going to be doing some panels, which I'd love people. You do not have to be some expert. If you live it, then you're an expert. You're automatically an expert. And I'm not going to be here next week, but I will be here the week after doing my Wednesday Real Talk with Angry Soccer Mom. Bring your friends. Just come yourself and tell me what you think. And you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with everybody, but you need to say what you think because people need to know. People need to know. They need to know not what I think. They need to know what the people living this think. And it makes me disgusted that some white folks will listen to me, a person who does not live this, over a person who lives this sick injustice every day. And that is a really sucky thing. And that's why I'm trying to use my privilege to help. Even if it's a little bit. Because if everyone did just a little, I'm not a hero. I told you at the beginning, I did this for me. I can't stand injustice. I go crazy. So anyway, oh, Nails and Glitter, you give me hope for, oh, thank you so much. I have my down moments where I'm like, this is what I say, losing my hope for humanity, one Trump supporter at a time. I know that sounds mean, but that's losing my hope for humanity. It's hard because I don't get it, but I'm not going to stop trying. You just got to stick together and know that hate is never going to make us win. It just isn't. It never has. It's never won anything. These are our fellow humans. These are our brothers and sisters. Let's treat them like brothers and sisters. Without the bickering and fighting, of course. Okay. Oh, thank you, Mr. Bench Baru. Thank you so much. I'm just a normal person who just learned to use my voice. And I was shy before. I'll tell you all that later. But I'm going to say goodnight. And I have to get my bottom into bed. But if you know anyone who would benefit from being here, bring them on. If you have questions, PM me. I'm slow, but I will get to you. And thank you so much for this. It means the world to me. If you are watching from Facebook, I haven't quite figured out the whole way to stream both questions. So come on over to YouTube so you can be in on the conversation. All right? And I will see you in a week from this Wednesday, I hope. All right? And get out there and keep hope, guys. Be safe. This is a very, very rough time, as you don't need me to tell you. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks again for being here. Hope I got to everybody's comments. Now, how to say goodnight. It might take me 10 minutes, but thanks again, everybody. See you in a week from Wednesday.